Oh, God. And there we are.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
We got K Munin.
Oh, I see.
And we have
Someone
Nerd.
else.
So,
Nerd.
as always, hope you had a very
Uh-huh.
uneventful week. Ours was very eventful because in our area we had that explosion of
That's
the
right.
chemical plant.
Biolab.
And maybe some of y'all have heard about it on the news and all of that. So this week, 2 days this week, we didn't work because we were under lockdown, shelter in place, and schools were
That
closed. I
happened.
think it's still closed.
Yeah.
I don't think the schools are open yet.
And there's Willie Kramer.
Hey, Willie.
That happened last day of Joe Lanta, and they actually started
Yes,
wrapping up early because of it,
because
because
of it.
part of the highway was shut off.
Yeah, the whole area, they cordoned off the whole area of that town. But we were able to get around and everything. Um but it's coming to an end. They still send out
Alerts.
shelter in place alerts, but people out and about doing their thing. You know, listening and all that. But that's how our week was. But other than that, it wasn't bad. It was kind of nice being off work for a while. While doing some stuff around the house, cutting grass, doing stuff like that. Um, so that was nice. But all in all, the week wasn't bad. It was eventful in that regard. Also, we had a show today. I don't know if
Retro
David
Toy
got
Swap.
the video up
It's
yet.
processed, but it's not
Okay.
loaded yet.
Okay, so he'll
It's
be
not loaded
loading
yet.
that soon.
Munin saw my short for the Super Sevens,
Oh,
and not just at that yard sale, but at the retro too. I mean, we're seeing Legends mint in the box for $10.
yes.
The
Hey, Raccoon.
Super 7 Ultimates,
Mhm.
$10, $30,
Yeah.
$25, and this
And we
blue
got,
splashes
yeah, we
here.
got David, we got
And Dama.
Dama. Yeah, it's a new hurricane, and then that
Yeah.
also we had a hurricane to deal with the week before. So we were actually off work 4 working days because Thursday and Friday of the last week and Monday of Tuesday of this week because of the hurricane. And now I saw on the news today another big hurricane is sweeping, but I don't know if we'll get the
Yeah.
effects of that.
Not sure.
Yeah. So, and then it's headed. I hope you be all right, David. I see you say it's heading towards you. Hey,
John is
John,
there.
how are you? But like I said, hopefully y'all had a very uneventful week.
Yes.
And if it was eventful, it was some good events. You know, stuff
Positive.
that are positive. We got enough negativity to deal with
Yeah.
on a regular. So hopefully nothing else came in and just crushed your spirits and stuff. You know, need that.
Mhm.
There's another tropical storm headed towards my state, and it's supposed to be devastating. Yes.
And Willie says, found the sweetest stray cat this
Oh,
week. Take good care of
good.
them. Take good care of them.
Yes. Give them some milk
Some of
and some
them
soft
are
food.
some
and-
of them are absolute angels.
Yeah. Hey, Robert, how
Robert
are
is
you?
there.
Your
Oh,
show
yeah.
panel looks good. Thank you. Did you get any Super 7? Also, you saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
We're going
I
to talk
didn't.
about that in a minute.
Mhm.
We're going to let a few more people come in
I
before
didn't
we
pick
get
up
in.
any of those Super Sevens. I'm just not in the market for it.
Hey, Mickle.
Mickle Stapler.
Yeah, we did go
Is there?
out and last night and we saw the Joker movie, and we're
Yeah.
going to talk about that. Give our thoughts, reviews, or whatever
Yeah.
on it. We're going to
Without
wait
really revealing
well,
much. You know, we don't want to spoil it.
you're gonna have to spoil
Oh
it because
no.
I mean there's nothing ain't really much you can do about that. Oh yeah, Willie said he loved that stray cat he got. That's good.
That's
I
good.
mean, we started off with
Yeah.
one that just walked in the house and didn't leave out.
Yeah. And then we ended up with 20 from
Yeah.
around the neighborhood, and then we're down to 18 now because we
Yeah.
got 2 of them adopted.
Yeah, they needed to be adopted.
Mhm.
And we told that story before. They were
Yeah.
stressing each other out and causing behaviors. They had behaviors and it was spreading to the other cats.
Yeah.
They couldn't be around each other. They had to be separated um constantly. And it was just not right because the only place we had to separate them is the garage.
Yeah.
And we don't believe in locking up pets, chaining them to the tree and all of that.
Yeah,
That's just
we're not the shelter, so we
no,
don't keep them in cages all day.
exactly. Hey,
It's
Stone Sour.
Stone Sour's joining us.
Or like that neighbor you got that has a fenced in yard with a dog that's chained to the tree on a 6-foot chain.
Yeah, 6 foot of freedom for the rest of their lives.
Yeah. So we don't do stuff like that. So, for about a month and a half, we had to separate them by putting one in the garage and we would rotate them out. But we didn't like that. So we looked for a place for them to go. And we did.
Sure.
And we found some place. So now they're happy and they're free. The rest of the cats have calmed down a lot. They're not acting up no more. How do I tell a girl that we're canceling the Joker movie?
As the bad review says, first, last. Well, you might like it. You never know.
You might.
Yeah, I know the reviews are panning it, but
we'll go ahead and talk about it. Let me catch up, and then we'll talk about it because we did see it. So Will got 5 cats outside, and
5. 2 are outdoors.
Yeah. Will you get the soundtrack? No.
And Legends is here.
Legends is here.
Yeah.
No, we're not getting a soundtrack. I don't do stuff like that either. Like what?
The animals, I think he means.
Yeah. I found my entire collection in my luggage outside in our backyard, buried under 3 feet of dirt and mud. My wife and daughter said a hurricane did it. Why a hurricane needs to shovel?
Yeah. He's out on the curb. I'll come pick it up. Munin says they got the Sonic 3 Shadow figure. Figure's amazing for 15. How can Jax nail it at 15? Other companies flop at 60 or more because they don't care.
I did buy the Andrew Garfield Hot Toys Spider-Man.
Okay.
That was on your weekly roundup. Okay, that was the one when I was asking who is that guy because I didn't recognize the face.
The actor's name.
Okay.
And
Are yours
Willie? Not all of them. We were working with a shelter that was helping us with it, and they can't help us anymore. So we're looking for another resource because we have a few more so that it doesn't get out of control.
Oh my God. Last week, my neighbor's shed burned down and their dog. Oh.
Gee, that sucks.
Oh my God.
That stinks.
Hey, Pastor.
Pastor
How
Rick
you doing?
Is here. So yeah, okay, yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Last night we did see the Joker
movie.
Folie,
whatever,
Deux, or whatever the hell.
Joker Part
Joker
2.
2, yeah. And it's like, well, it's a movie that didn't need to happen. It did. The first one was concluded. I don't think it needed a sequel, but there's, you know how a film has ups and downs.
Yes.
There's no ups and downs in this film. It's all down.
No.
It is.
No.
It is. It's a complete.
I can't agree.
It's complete misery. The whole film.
Okay, that's true. But in the first movie, it was depicting his life, and his life was miserable.
Yeah.
In this one, okay, first it was a musical because you remember when it is when we first heard about it. My biggest thing was what do they mean by musical?
Mm-hmm.
Do they mean singing, dancing, throughout,
or a soundtrack,
like Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah.
Were they going to just play a lot of music? So, I'm just like, I don't know. I didn't watch any trailers, didn't watch anybody else's review. I wanted to go in, with my own blank mind. And it was a musical. Joaquin Phoenix sang those songs. Lady Gaga sang those songs. And they sang a lot of songs.
Yeah.
And they danced a lot.
And it distracts from the plot. Because you're like, okay, what's going on?
It did.
And I guess you're supposed to imagine it's his imagination.
Yeah.
But they're not always quite clear. Like in the first film, there's a point where they want to establish, okay, now we're going to reveal he is definitely schizophrenic.
Right.
So they replay a few scenes where he was with someone, but now he's talking to himself and it's the same scene. Okay, I get it. He imagined that person.
Right.
In this film, they don't do it.
No.
So you don't know if anything that's in the film is happening or not.
No.
Any scene.
No.
You don't know for sure.
Now, one thing they did, which I did like, they kind of picked up where the last one went off. So it starts out, he's in Arkham. He meets Harley Quinn. She's in Arkham, but she's in the I don't know, the mental
volunteer area.
Yeah, the mental ward. And they have music therapy. Now the song that
spoiler alerts.
Well, you can't do nothing without with that. The song that they're singing during that part is needed because it's used throughout the movie and it becomes like the anthem in the movie. So you understood the reasoning behind
There's
that
a couple
song.
of times where somebody singing it would work, but more than half of the singing moments, it was like filler. It was like we didn't need to go there.
No, you did not. You did not. It was two songs that you understood the purpose. Only two. Now the talking parts, excellent.
Yeah, it was well acted.
Visual effects, excellent.
Yeah.
The acting, excellent. Even Lady Gaga's acting was good.
It wasn't bad. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. All of the acting. I mean, all of the acting, all of the talking parts were intense, and it was needed. Every scene where they were talking was needed, except for any place they sang, except for those two scenes, didn't need it. The best part of the whole movie, they had the little midget from the first movie,
Mr. Puddles.
Mr. Puddles, when he was on the witness stand, man.
The interaction was very well done in that whole scene.
Yes.
It was well done.
And the visual of that scene with him was perfect. It was spot on. At first you're like, man, they dragging, because he's the midget. He comes through the door and they film him walking from the door to the stand, and it was a long walk. It was like Jesus going to the cross. It was long.
Yeah.
And you like, but they were focusing on that, and at that point you couldn't realize, why are you taking so long for him to walk to this stand? Then he gets on the stand and he has to sit on
a
phone books, and then he raises his hand and his hands are deformed, like really deformed, because he's a midget, but he's like the dwarf kind, because like you got the full size midgets where all of their body parts are the proper size. Then you have the one where they have like short hands and short fingers or short legs and all of that. So his hands were deformed, and they made a point of highlighting his hands without highlighting his hands.
Yeah. It was a lot of really good establishing cinema.
It really established without saying a word. He held up his hand and it looked like he only had 4 fingers, but he had 5. And then the prosecutor, which was Harvey Dent, is questioning him, and then the Joker comes and questions him, and that's where it just like, oh man, I don't want to spoil the scene for y'all in case you haven't seen it, but if you want me to, I will. But,
well, you don't know because you're like 100 behind on the comments.
Oh, okay, let's catch up. Okay, so cats are funny. We got thanks for the info. That's first and last. I have not heard
things. Yeah, a lot of people don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, but it wasn't a bad film as far as the cinematography, the acting, the dialogue. It was only the singing. Did you get it? No, we don't get no theater because we would have paid $400. We didn't do that.
Raccoon, yes. Lady Gaga was Harley Quinzel.
Mm-hmm.
No Munin, there hasn't. Has there been a good movie in the theater this year? We have more to say on that.
Yeah,
but Blue Splash, Saw a toy YouTuber, Carbon Scoring. He did a video this morning showing how the storm got in his basement.
Ooh.
Oh, 8 inches of water on his shelf. Wow, that sucks. That sucks.
I'm kind of glad I haven't seen any Joker movies. To me, if Joker doesn't have Batman, what's the point?
Well, the last one was really well
it
done.
was well done.
Logic Blaster is here.
Hey,
Glad
Logic
you could make
Blaster.
it.
Okay, you talking to Raccoon?
Try to catch up.
Glad you told me.
It was a musical. I'll save my money. Oh, no.
How was
Harley better than Margot? Who's
yes.
Margot?
Yeah, some other Harley Quinn.
I don't know. The only one I like is the one from animated series.
Yeah, she did do a good job. I like their portrayal of Harley Quinn. It wasn't your normal traditional portrayal. It was totally different.
Robert, there was like 10 people in the theater.
No, it
wasn't
says
was the theater full? No, we were like 2 of 10.
Resting. Yeah, it was like like he
Nobody.
said. It was a bunch of couples, and we were one
of a set of couples.
Of maybe 10.
Sit wherever you want.
Yeah. Because we had assigned seats, and after nobody showed up, we backed up a little bit.
Munin said they didn't know it was a musical until you mentioned it. What was the point? I think he was trying to be artistic and show another angle on his psychosis because of how his imagination works. Yeah. But it was too much. It was too much. I don't
remember them doing a musical. I've seen the whole thing, and I don't remember that.
I don't believe so.
What rating would you give?
It's hard to say. I only have one rating. You already know.
Retro Style.
Retro Style is here. I would either watch it again or I would not. The first Joker movie, I would watch again. This one, I would not. So that's it. I mean, that's my rating. Glass is half full or half empty. Legend says at this point, unless I'm invited, I don't bother going to the theater.
Oh, no.
Okay. And Willie says, I'm in for Batman. I'll see it eventually. Saw Carbon Scoring's video. It was bad. Yeah, that stinks.
Yeah.
We had some flooding, but water came in, but it was only in the utility room. Yeah,
where our gym is.
Yeah, it didn't go any further than any of that. And Blue Splash said, glad the Joe Lanta had more width in the vendor areas. Yeah, that's one of the biggest deals for the Joe Lanta and also the upcoming Toy Lanta in March, which they also want us to come to, is it's under new management. And the guy who's running it now, his name is Brett. And that's something that that he's thought about a lot, because you go to many of these shows and it's like this, and you have to like elbow your way through everything and you can't move. He wanted a nice wide lane so that there could be comfortable foot traffic, and you could drive a car through there. It was nice and wide. And that's my first impression. I was like, wow, there's a lot, because there was a lot of dealers there, but I was like, there's a lot of open floor space for people to move. I like this. Plus, it was really good lighting, and a lot of time it shows lighting is terrible. Munin says, I take David's comment of more on that to mean we have a discussion video about movies coming up. Yeah, we might be doing a discussion on the movie experience in the near future. Robert says, theaters are doing bad. Been like that for a while. I thought it would at least get some people in the movie theater.
No, I think
when the rumors got out that it was going to be a musical, a lot of people were like, psh, no, because it didn't feel like it would fit with the first film. It really kind of doesn't.
No, I haven't
seen Easel Monkey Megalopolis. No.
It would have fit with the first movie if they didn't put the musical in it, because like I said, it picked up where he's in Arkham, and then he was going on trial for all of the murders that he did in the first movie.
Yeah.
So that's where they were going. So you were watching, okay, he's in prison in Arkham. His defense attorney is trying to prepare him, trying to get him on an insanity plea and all of this. They're going to trial. They introduce to you Harvey Dent. He's the prosecutor in it and everything. Then you see the trial. You see him in trial with the judge and the the lawyers and
Yeah.
all of the witnesses and stuff like that. So I like that take on it. I like where that was going. And then in the end, I think they probably gonna want to do something with that Harvey Dent character because of, I'm not gonna tell you what happened, but some stuff happened and it kind of set up the Harvey Dent. And it's different than all of the other um renditions of Harvey Dent. Just like this Harley Quinn was different than all of the other Harley Quinns. I like this one a whole lot better. I like the angle they took on it. Um yeah, if they just left out all those songs, I think.
Or cut back on it. I think it was kind of overdone. It was kind of overdone. You'll lose some of the audience that way.
Yeah. However, 1 year in Pennsylvania, and I would
He
like
wants to go to Blobfest for the Colonial Theater. Legend says, and Eddie says they gave the movie a B-. Musical scenes clearly used to show duality and struggle of the Joker's personality.
Yeah. The one thing that was hard to get to understand is what was real and what wasn't.
Yeah, they did too much of that.
Yeah,
and so
it was kind of
lose track.
hard to figure out.
By the end of the film, you don't know if any of it happened. You know, he could have imagined the whole freaking thing.
Yeah, and that kind of got frustrating right there, but I don't know. I liked it. Will I get the DVD? Maybe if it's at Goodwill. I don't know. I can see a lot of hot toys coming out of there. I can see a lot of statues coming out of it.
Of course.
Yeah, but the movie, again, I found a lot of good parts about it. Again, the cinematography was good. Dialogue was excellent. The acting was great. They really, especially when you got to the courtroom and the interaction with the witnesses really helped it. I mean, all of it really. His interaction with the people in Arkham, the other prisoners. You know, it was a sad, miserable movie. I mean, the guy was miserable. He was treated like garbage, and they did a fantastic job of displaying that.
Yeah.
If you want to see misery, that's it. Yeah, it looks pretty big. Was there enough news story about Joker to make it?
Well, that's up to you, Reston. I mean, you know, you don't have to take our word for it or anybody's. I mean, you might like it. You know, we don't know.
News story. Like I said, the interaction he has, the intensity of the movie, of the characters and their interaction was top notch. It was stellar. The video, cinematography was stellar. Dialogue, great. It was just, for me, it was just the singing. It was way too much. The singing and the dancing. Joaquin Phoenix did sing his parts. I don't know if he took singing classes. He wasn't bad, but it was just a lot. And I guess if you were expecting a musical, it would have been all right. Like if you go and you see the King and I, that's a musical. You expect it to be one.
Yeah.
It comes off like that. But when you're thinking about a comic book action comic, you don't think musical.
Yeah, and again, I mean, he was imagining all that, but it was just distracting. It was distracting.
Yeah. It's always so good at showing corruption
in government.
Yeah.
And Munin says, do you think, what are the odds that theaters will disappear in the future? Hey, it looks like it might be headed that way. And then there's Eddie. He says music scenes roll in his head, of course.
Yeah, because yeah, you could tell that part, but the parts that led to the songs, were those real? Or were they imagined? That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
The music, yeah, because it was like a music video or whatever, I guess. You know, it showed some like
And there might have been some dated references. Like there's one portion that they're doing that's obviously a take on the old Sonny and Cher show.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, if you're not my age, you're not going to get that.
Yeah, I didn't know it was from Sonny and Cher,
because
but
it's set in the
felt,
70s.
Yeah.
So
I felt like it was something like that. I didn't know it was Sonny and Cher because I never saw Sonny and Cher, but I knew it was from something like that.
And Bruce Flash
he
liked
loved the panel. Yeah, the panel was fun.
Mm-hmm. And Robert says that panel was great. Or on the second floor. Yeah, it was on the second floor. If you saw it from the video, way up, there's like windows close to the ceiling in that room. or you could actually, you might have been able to see part of the floor behind us through the windows. Yeah, we were above.
Mm-hmm.
The panel room is like 20 feet above the show floor overlooking it.
The animated, because at the beginning it was an animated short at the beginning. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, then it kind of fades into the movie. Batman isn't Phantom of the Opera.
And what Munin says, sad, miserable. Who wants to pay to see something like that? People went to see Misery. Yeah, and that theater was packed when I went when it first came out.
And the first Joker was packed, and it was sad. It was a sad movie.
That was sad too.
It was a sad character, but I think it would have went over a lot better if it wasn't a musical. I really don't know anything about the Joker from the comics except that he's violent and a criminal. Was he really this disturbed, or is this another alternate reality?
He's pretty disturbed, but depicted in different ways.
Yeah.
By different actors, obviously.
Mm-hmm. The only movie I saw was Deadpool Wolverine. It was actually pretty good. Yeah. Everybody had a different take on.
Yeah, because we heard some people that panned that too, but we also heard a lot of people who said they liked it. So what are you going to do? And Nostalgic is here.
Hey, Chance.
And that's Chance, and he has a channel, and that is his channel, Nostalgic Pod Blast. He talks about a lot of things nostalgia related, so you might find that interesting.
Yeah, it's getting trashed by viewers. Yeah. Where are we in Dallas?
Oh God.
Mark just died.
Sure he did.
I don't believe he died either.
No, I think he killed himself.
I think the plane just went down and he wasn't on it.
Oh yeah, think he faked his death?
Yeah, I mean he's gonna die anyway in 6 months, but he just died. JR got swelling little boyfriend arrested. Clayton's sister is trying to destroy Clayton, and JR is trying to figure things out, and I'm trying to figure out why she's so on to Dusty when Dusty is supposed to be her nephew, which I'm starting to believe that Dusty not her nephew, that's her son.
Yeah.
And
some weirdness.
Yeah, and then they're getting closer to what happened with the fire. I think we're going to start seeing that JR everybody's going to figure out that JR has something to do with Cliff not hitting oil. What's her name? Catherine told Bobby that she slept with JR because JR told her that he told Bobby, but he really didn't.
And Bobby's like, I don't care. I don't like you anyway.
Yeah, I never wanted you. I don't know why you keep thinking it. I never liked you. It's like, God, dog. J1 was a great character, Bill. Okay. Theater is both comedy and misery. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Smash the like button.
Says Chance.
And just like with anything else, TV shows, music, movies, books, it's all about your like and how you take it. Yeah. And some movies, I like the Batman movie. Mm-hmm. I watched a lot of critics before I saw it. No, after I saw it. And they all said how bad it was. But I loved it. I thought it was great.
It was an interesting rendition, I thought.
Yeah. So it's all about your take and your feeling on it. I thought the movie wasn't that bad. Mm-hmm. I just didn't like the singing. I thought they could have, took out about 90% of that singing. And I think it would have been better.
Uh-huh.
But then again, it's all about what you like.
Yeah.
Just like with any other TV show, some people love whatever they like Lost or something. I thought Lost was okay. A lot
Uh-huh.
of people didn't like it.
They got mad at it because of how it ended.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Do y'all have access to TNT Dallas Revival? It was really fun. I don't think so. We're just on the regular 83, 1980s Dallas right now. And it got like 13 seasons. And I
Yeah,
think
I
we're
guess.
on season 7. I don't know where we at in it, what season we're on, but I don't know. We're just going to take it one day at a time.
And Mickle is making a Ninja Turtle sewer lair
Oh.
diorama. And thank you for the way listening, because he's listening while he's working.
Okay. Stopping by to say hello. Hey,
that's
Turk.
Tuck.
How are you? Oh,
Tuck.
I keep calling him Turk.
And Eddie says he has that same
Oh,
third
yeah.
scale Joker statue.
Yeah, I have that one is the prime one, and you see this right here is the back of the Queen Studio one. That's the stage when he was at Murray's dressing room.
Late Night with Murray's, or whatever it was.
Whatever his name was. Man, I love those statues. And then I just ordered the hot toys because I had been wanting a 1/6 scale hot toy of that, and it took so long to come out. Mm-hmm.
It was a perfect casting for Robert De Niro, because he got to act like himself.
The first episode of Matlock with Kathy Bates is on YouTube. Just putting it out there. Thank you, Robert, but nobody
wants
really
to see
cares.
that. Yeah.
Catherine is
There's only one Matlock. Case closed.
I know. Yeah, Catherine is, I don't know what her problem is. So Bobby asked Jenna to marry him. Now Mark is dead, so that's going to cause Pam to be feeling some kind of way. I will never forget the sound of Dallas opening song, Old Productions Rule.
Although they did change it. They altered bit. Yeah, they changed the instrumental on that. What I thought was funny is in the first season of Dallas, every song you heard on the show was the theme to Dallas. Only it was indifferent. Like if they were in the disco for some reason, you heard a disco version, or if somebody's playing the piano, you heard the piano solo version of that song, because I guess they didn't have the budget for other music.
But it had to see how far the show was going to go. Hot Toys revealed and released Deadpool from Deadpool Wolverine, and the Deadpool figure has feet pegs
breaking
already. Well, I mean, it's not out yet. So
Splash says $300 a figure breaks at the ankles.
But I mean, how is it out? The movie just came out. That thing normally takes a year.
They've already released. I don't know. I guess they've already released the figures.
What did you think about it? The ending? Okay, now.
Well.
Okay, go ahead, David.
I think that it should have ended 10 minutes earlier. I think it. Oh God. How can I put it? With trying not to spoil too much. I think it should have ended with the rescue attempt. That's where I would have stopped it, because that would have left it open for, if they wanted to do anything else with this, because there's other nuances of the film that indicate that they were thinking, could we pull off a 3? But I would have killed it right there. And then
you could have had a part 3 if you wanted to.
Yeah, I would not have done the last 10 minutes of the film.
Well, the last 10 minutes really nailed in the confusion nail for me, because I knew they had to be doing something with that guy, because he was always lurking in the background. They always showed him. They always made a point of showing him lurking. But I thought he was going to be another Gotham villain, like, I don't know, the Riddler or somebody. And it was going to be revealed later who he was. So then, they go back and he sees him in the hall. And I'm like, okay, they're going to reveal who this guy is, because all movie long, they made a point of showing him lurking in the background. But then I don't know why he did what he did. And then I don't know if that was even real.
Yeah.
So it
Or
was
did he
like,
imagine that too?
yeah. And what was the significance of that guy? Why did he do that? And who was that? I guess if you knew who, or at least knew why he did that, you could be like, oh, okay, now you can put some pieces together. But it helped with the for me. It helped with the confusion of not knowing what was real and what wasn't real. Because I'm like, okay, well, did that happen? Or like when him and Harley Quinn during that Sonny and Cher bit, and she shot him, was that real? Was that in his imagination? Because they went back to that. So it's like, which one of these events happened?
Yeah, do those two tie together, and does that mean that he never went to court? I mean,
Yeah,
because and he imagined all of that too.
yeah. Like
Yeah,
again, I liked a lot of parts, but I admit it was confusing because you didn't know what was real and what was imagined, what was in his head. So the singing, I knew all of that was in his head because I mean they did like the little video or whatever. So you
yeah.
knew that was in his head, but all of the talking scenes, was that imagined? Were some of them imagined? You know, I don't know. And
Yeah.
then that end scene, was that imagined? I don't know. Did you see any previews of movies?
No.
The Venom movie didn't look horrible because they're gonna kill off Venom, so they're making the last Venom film.
Yeah, but I mean, the first one wasn't that great, and it's already had a sequel that also wasn't that great. Do we need a third one?
Well, they're ending it now. I saw only the first one. I didn't see any more. And then I don't want to see it, but it kind of like, I don't know, that Ballerina, the John Wick spinoff.
Yeah,
I don't know
know,
what that was about.
5'2", 80-pound John Wick, female.
Yeah,
And,
that's why
and it
I'm
is
not gonna
tied
go.
to the John Wick
Yeah, because
series.
Keanu Reeves came
He
out.
makes an appearance.
Yeah, he
So
makes an appearance.
it's like, oh, please.
I could support it and get behind it if the woman was bigger. She was literally, because the name of the show is a ballerina. She was picked up, I don't know, from an orphanage or somewhere as a kid and trained to be a ballerina. So at first I'm like, oh, okay, they're redoing Phantom of the Opera or Black Swan or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you find out that she learns how to do shooting and fighting and all of this. So I'm like, okay, where is this going? And then they show you the hotel and that black guy that's died. And I'm like, oh, is she the new John Wick? And then John Wick comes out, the Keanu Reeves character, and I'm like, oh, okay. So that's where this is going. But she is literally the size of a ballerina.
She looked like one of the
Ballerinas aren't big.
Olsen twins. So imagine one of the Olsen twins doing what John Wick does in the movies.
Yeah. Now, if she was big, like CrossFit size,
I always speculated
170 pounds.
That's why people were able to take Zena somewhat seriously, even though it was a silly show. At least she was in some kind of shape. Get somebody who looks like China out there
exactly
to do that stuff.
I could get behind that.
A girl with an upper arm that I could clamp my hand around.
Yeah, I could get around a 5'7" to 10-inch woman that's 150 to 200 pounds. I can get behind that.
Okay.
I can't get behind 5'1" to 5'4", 100 pounds. It just doesn't make any sense. And they're showing you all of these moves that she's doing, and it's like, okay, I don't doubt you can do those moves, but you're not doing that on a 6'5" man that weighs 250 pounds. I just don't believe that. I mean, maybe in training and sparring or something like that, maybe if he gives, but in a fight, like full on, you ain't doing none of that. Now I won't believe it unless my eyeballs see it.
Mickle says that them and their daughter have been watching Murder, She Wrote. They thought it was actually kind of funny.
I never got into Murder, She Wrote.
Uh-huh.
My grandmama used to watch that. I couldn't get into that. I didn't see it, but I saw they're posting the first episode on. Oh, okay. Do you still fix or repair comic books? If so, I have several bags and what may or may not be my comic book collection. He doesn't fix or repair, he just cleans.
Clean and press.
Yeah, no fixing or repairing or merging in covers and pages.
I don't play with them. And Blue Splash says that sometimes Hot Toys does get them out early.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess they got it out too early this time. And Pastor Rick says last time they had anything to do with the Joker is 1988 with the Killing Joke.
Oh, okay. Good book, good read. I have that. I haven't read it yet. So you didn't see Jack Nicholson, or you didn't like what's the guy name from the animated series? You didn't like their versions of it? I thought they had some good versions. Maybe you do.
Oh, Stone Sour says they should have made it a Bonnie and Clyde story.
Yeah. Well, no, because they didn't do anything together like all that.
Yeah, it's about like the Predator movie, Munin. What we saw on the preview.
That's a little bit, yeah. It's
that about sums it up.
It's about like that because it's a young girl. Like I said, she was picked up as a kid. I don't know where they were. Some man picked her up, I guess, from the orphanage or somewhere.
Yeah, who knows?
And took her and trained her to be a ballerina. And then she went to the shooting range. They showed at the shooting range, the fighting range, and all of this stuff. I'll give them
credit for doing an actual trailer so that you know what you're getting yourself into instead of being all spotty and you see the whole trailer for 3 minutes and then you're like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, they did do a full-on trailer. Because they do that a lot
in the modern, modern trailers. You watch the trailer and you still have no freaking clue what the movie's about.
Yeah, like the Hawkeye TV show. I'm supposed to believe that 115-pound teenage girl is taking down Russian
Marvel power.
Girl power.
There you go.
Woman it's girl magic.
T. Stewart is here.
Hey, T. Stewart.
Glad you could
popping
make it
in.
Today.
Yeah, thank y'all for stopping in. But no, I mean, that's our review of the movie. I mean,
there's not much you can say because we don't want to give away a lot. We already said too much.
But my thing is, again, with movies, TV shows, comic books, music, it's all about your taste and your likes. Mm-hmm. That's why I kind of don't. I used to watch a lot of the reviews that came out, like Critical Drinker, Nerdrotic. No, what is it? Nerdzoid. I think it's Nerdzoid. Uh-huh. And who is that other one? Heels and Babyface and Ryan, whatever his name. I would always watch their reviews of a movie or a TV show. Not TV shows, movies. And I was like, hey, I saw that movie. I liked it. I don't agree with you. So don't not see something or listen or read just because of what somebody else say, because you might actually like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm not going to go buy it unless it's at Goodwill because it had too much singing in it. But all in all, the talking points were good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Overpowered little girls only works in anime and manga. They do it the right way.
Well, I mean, it makes sense if you're dealing with somebody who's got supernatural powers.
Yeah.
But I mean, just an average person, it's not quite the same. And I see Johnny is there. Hey,
Johnny.
As well as Punisher.
Yeah.
He said he didn't like the first Joker and he doesn't want the second one.
Yeah. See, now if you didn't like the first one, you're not going to like the second one because it's just as miserable, and I don't know if it's as violent. I mean, there's some violent scenes. Yeah, I don't know if it's as much, but it's just as miserable, probably even more So if you didn't like the first one, I'm almost sure you're not gonna like the second one. So, but anyway, we got some stuff.
Do we?
If y'all want to see pickups, I think we've kind
I
of
got
beat
some.
the Joker down for
Yeah,
45 minutes.
I know. Come on, guys.
And
Yeah.
but we did have some stuff that we picked up. I'm pretty sure y'all want to see. Y'all like to see the pickups.
Yeah, you want to see some pickup? This is actually from a thrift store. And that is the Pizza Hut hand puppet, although I don't know how the hell you're going to get your hand in there.
That's a kid hand.
I don't know how a kid going to get their hand in there,
Yeah,
and what he's
get it
going to
in
do
there.
with it, because
You got to
can't
stretch it. Oh, it ain't that stretchy.
No, it's not flexy at all. And so you put your hand in there, there's not much you can do. You can't even really bend him. That's Uncle Stretch from the Pizza Hut promo for the movie from 1995. And so I found that at the thrift store. He glows in the dark. I have the whole set of these already in the bag, but I'll pick this up cheap. And then also, I found this. It's the Mad Scientist VHS. Mad Scientist. And this is actually a very rare VHS because it has never been reproduced since. It's one of those VHSs where if you don't find it like this, or one of those things where if you don't find it like this, you won't find it.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if it's available on, it's 2 episodes of The Mad Scientist.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, it's 2 episodes on a VHS. Well, it's a VHS.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you can't get much on the VHS.
Well, this one, especially not if it looks like that, because there's not much on there anyway. But still. I got
Robert said he ain't gonna see it because Batman not in it.
Oh, well. I found also at the thrift store some vinyl. Yeah, it's Dr. Seuss. And I have Dr. Seuss on vinyl records already.
Yeah.
These are actually pretty fun to listen to. So finding these in the actually Value Village was pretty cool. And the best part about finding these at Value Village is explaining to them the pricing, because they have a price system where a 33 record, get this, 33 is $1.99 and a 45 is $3.99.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, I guess 45s are more valuable. But explaining to the cashier, this is the 33, not a 45. Because the number 45 is bigger does not mean the bigger record is a 45. 33 is the speed of the record, not the size of the record. Because everybody there is too young to know anything about vinyl records.
Yeah.
That's it. Got this at a yard sale.
Yeah, we went to a yard sale today.
We did go to a yard sale today.
A community yard sale. And we went specifically to get some records because I knew the guy.
Yes.
And we got a few records. So Johnny says, he wants that Mad VHS, but it's Mad Scientist, not like Mad,
not Mad Magazine.
The magazine.
It's not going to be cheap.
Hold on. Johnny saw a panel.
Okay. I don't know
how many. Yeah, about 12 people there.
Yeah.
Are you going to start doing? That's the second panel we've done. So if we're asked to, yeah, we'll do it.
We did one for Joe Lanta last year, or Toy Lanta last year.
We recorded that and put it and we put it up. I can't remember what we talked about though, but we did videotape it and put it up.
Legends says they used to love the Random House videos, Dr. Seuss, cut out animations of the stories. And Robert says the only movie they probably watch is the new Alien because they like Alien.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Tommy Fletcher is here.
Tommy is here. Now this is actually a gift, and it is the Weebles Camper, one of the Weebles Campers. And it is complete. So the Weebles Camper is in here, and it's in the box. And I'm a big fan of the Weebles, actually. The old, and it's the early 70s version because it's got the Romper Room labeling right here. If it says Romper Room in there, it's early 70s. And LPH gave this to me. My wife gave me this.
Yeah.
I love
I got
these.
the wrong one.
She wanted to find my childhood Weeble Camper.
He said Weeble Camper, and that's what I found.
Yeah, this is the camp about, not the Weeble Camper.
Oh.
But they
said camp on it.
She did it the wrong one, but I still love this.
I tried.
Yeah, hey, I am not complaining because I do love me some Weebles. I really like Weeble sets. It's very classic 70s.
Not Robert. Darren is saying, is that Mad Scientist not related to Mad Magazine? The Mad does look the same though.
Yeah, it's
the word
not.
Mad, doesn't it?
I don't believe that it is.
Yeah,
I don't think it has anything to do with Mad Magazine.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, this is what it looks like. We'll say no.
Yeah. For home entertainment.
And Average Gamer says Cesar Romero was the best Joker. The Mego figures look very similar to the TV series camera, except for the Catwoman.
And Robert says we're the only ones to know about 33s, 45s, and 78s. Yeah. There was a bigger one.
Yeah, it was 78s, and they do have 78s at Value Village, and the price is different. I want to say that's the cheapest one.
They don't know what they're doing.
But it don't fall down.
Tommy says they don't fall down. Yeah, Weebles, they wobble, but they don't fall down.
Oh.
I love the Weebles. I've got a bunch over here, and she got me. It was for our anniversary.
Oh, Hill says that he had that for his, as a child, as a kid.
They're cool. They're so cool. They're so classic. They really
are.
They
wobble, but they don't fall down.
This came from a
antique mall.
An antique mall, right?
Yeah, one that we really enjoy going to.
Yeah. This is not a knockoff of Easy Bake, because that's your first impression, right? You look at that and you're like, oh, it's got to be a knockoff of the Easy Bake Oven because it says warm bake oven. No, it is an official Kenner product, and they are the ones who made Easy Bake. This is for a younger child than Easy Bake, so no electricity. It's a warm bake oven because the recipes, and I promise you her cakes are not going to come out looking like that.
No.
Okay, not on your life. It uses no bake recipes, so she thinks she's baking in the oven.
She ain't doing that.
This is like pretty much unused though. It's clean as a whistle. Has the interior boxes. It even still has some like sealed packets. Of the recipe, of the like recipe stuff in here. And I found this at the antique mall for like next to nothing. And this one you can't find. You can find Easy Bake, vintage Easy Bakes all day. This one didn't sell much. And it's that's a really rare one, which is why I grabbed it. Blue Splash wants to know what's the oldest figure we own. Oldest figure I own. Gosh, probably it's got to be action figures. The Whitman. Oh, what are they called? Crazy Ikes.
Oh, okay.
The Whitman Crazy Ikes. They predate G.I. Joe. They're from their late 50s. You've got a Mickey Mouse and a Raggedy Andy one, right? Yeah.
Mad Scientist is from the Monster Lab toy. I was curious, why does the dog lick your lips regularly?
A dog lick its lips?
Lick yours.
No, lick its lips.
Oh, its lips. I don't know.
Yeah,
look that up on Google.
Yeah, there could be a bunch of reasons for that. He could be dehydrated, or there's a lot of reasons. Unit says you guys weren't tempted by that 50-year-old Coke bottle. Yeah, 54-year-old sealed bottle of Coke, the 64 ounce that we saw at the antique mall. That was pretty cool. It might
still fizzle when you pop it open.
Yeah, you want to taste that?
No, because I don't drink Coke now. I never liked Coke when I did drink soda.
I bet you if I had that bottle and I opened it and I drank it in a video, I'd probably get 4 million views.
Probably.
Because people like to see weird stuff like that.
You probably will be in the bathroom for 3 days.
This is
nonstop.
This is something else my wife gave me.
I gave you that too.
You don't remember?
Yeah. We got to videotape these things.
Yeah. This
Too
is
much peanut butter.
This is the Play School Texaco.
Yeah.
From the Play School Familiar Places, same as the McDonald's. It's a Texaco gas station. This is the mail order shipper box, though. It's not the retail box.
Yeah. I thought your oldest figure was your Star Wars.
Star Wars is 70s.
Yeah.
But G.I. Joe goes back to 1964, and Crazy Ikes go to 1958.
Okay. I have some glass bottles of Coke from December 1994. I would not recommend drinking those old bottles.
Oh, yeah?
If you want to lose 10 pounds real quick, you might can go ahead and drink some and knock it out. But if you don't want to lose weight that fast, then you might not want to do that.
There. That's a Whitman Crazy Ike. And it predates traditional action figures.
Show them the back. You got to put it together.
Yeah, you can pull them apart and like do all kinds of stuff with it. That's why it's called a Crazy Ike. The body completely disassembles, and they that's Raggedy Andy right there. I think
it kind of looks like Connects.
Yeah, and they got Raggedy Ann, and they did Disney characters, and they had all kinds of weird stuff. I think they did the Flintstones.
Oh wow,
yeah,
they did a lot.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, those are some of the things that we picked up recently. And of course we went to the toy swap today and we filmed that. So you'll be seeing that soon.
We did pick up a few things there. I got a Halloween mask.
Yeah, David does have Star Wars figures.
Yes.
But Star Wars came out in the 70s.
Yeah, 1978.
And he also has the G.I. Joe figures that came out in the 60s. And the Crazy Ikes came out in the 50s. So the Crazy Ikes would be the oldest figures. So.
And Stewart says that their wife just started with the Little People collection.
Oh.
Yeah, and the Fisher Price Little People. Price Little People are pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Those are pretty cool too.
And they're not that expensive, and you can find them in the box. They're not that expensive.
Yeah, certain sets can.
But yeah,
there's always that.
Yeah, it's always
Halloween. I got myself my Halloween costume.
Mm-hmm. We found that today at the Retro Toy Swap.
This is a 60s costume, still in the box. The mask and the outfit by Halco. And this is Dr. Kildare from the nighttime soap opera from like 1961. And it's like, this is the thing that kills me about this costume is that looking at how small this thing is, and here's the mask, right? Let me see. Can you tell I'm still here? Dr. Kildare mask. And they got the smock here with the actor's face on it. And this is cloth. This is not vinyl, right? It's your little outfit. And you see how short the legs are.
That's for like a 3-year-old kid.
That's what I mean. It's like, what 3-year-old? And it's got the actor's face printed on it so you can figure out who it is. Dr. James Kildare. But I'm like, what 3-year-old is like, Mommy, I want to be Dr. Kildare for Halloween. Unless he's just with Nana all day and watches watches soaps with her and knows who Kildare is from that. I just thought this was really unusual, and it was like super cheap.
Yeah.
The guy,
great looking mask.
I know.
I don't know what movie we're gonna watch.
Or if we watch a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Normally what we do starting at the beginning of the month for October and December is we'll watch a movie like for October we'll watch like a horror film. Like last year we watched the Universal Monsters films. This year I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
We haven't watched anything.
Or like specials.
Yeah, we'll
like
watch
kids specials.
We mainly do that during the Christmas holiday. We'll watch like the specials like what was it, Charlie Brown or something like that.
Yeah.
We'll watch specials, but I totally forgot to even start watching anything because it was just so much going on.
Yes.
But I don't know what we'll watch or what we'll be doing. Shoot, we'll see.
Yeah, just a little preview.
Any other gems?
Yeah.
Oh, David watched the Blob. Which one?
Oh, because there's 4.
Oh, was it 4? I know we watched 2.
There's the original one from the 50s. There's a sequel to it that came out in the 70s.
I don't know if we did see that.
It's really, really bad.
Yeah, it's
really
awful.
like Riff Tracks would have trouble with it.
Yeah, it was bad.
There's the remake that came out in the 80s, which is actually, in my opinion, the best one.
Late Night with the Devil is great. I'm adding it to my yearly Okay, let me write that one down and see if I can find it.
Who's old enough to remember workbooks like these? Reading books and workbooks. I got the workbooks too. This guy had a stack of them, and I grabbed these. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that one picture though. That's pretty weird.
Oh yeah, oh god, yeah.
That's like that one scene from Invasion of the Body Snatchers with the dog that was deformed. Yeah. And I love how, where is it? Is it this one that had the bookmark? Yeah. This one, this kid tore off. It's an ad for a 22 caliber rifle.
Okay, that's what he was
using as a bookmark. And it was left in the middle of the book for so long, it has a stain. It looks shaped exactly like the ad. So I really just want to kind of leave it in there.
Yeah.
And some other of these workbooks, and these are workbooks. These are from the 60s, but they were still using these in the 70s. Language arts books, Dick and Jane basically is what this stuff is.
Yeah.
And
Think and Do book.
Yeah, listen and speak, and write. And they were still using these in the 70s, so I worked with these. So it was just nostalgic to see them again.
Legend has a Blu-ray collection with all the Universal monsters. The Spanish Dracula that was filmed side by side with Bela Lugosi was a good version.
Yeah.
And the first one, okay, so he saw the first Blob.
The first one. That one is hilarious because it's Steve McQueen.
Yeah, he's like 50 years old.
The world's oldest teenager.
Yeah.
He's like cruising in the car with his like hot 16-year-old girlfriend, and he looks like he's 56. And the sheriff, I'm sick of you kids. Give us a break, man.
Mike says Halloween is not Halloween without watching Halloween. Now, I really do like the first 3 Halloweens.
Yes.
Halloweens 1, 2, and 3. Even though part 3 didn't have Michael Myers in it, it was kind of a creepy movie with them kids wearing that mask and that weird song playing on the TV. Yeah. But it was good, and I saw what they were trying to do, but people had got so invested in Michael Myers that they had to resurrect him and the doctor because they blew up in that hospital and died. So they had to be resurrected.
Loomis.
Yeah, just so they could keep the franchise going because they wanted to make a different Halloween every year. That was the goal.
Yeah. They just had to split the first one because it ran long.
Yeah.
Munin said Junji Ito anime series is airing on Toonami at 12:30 a.m. Saturday and that's horror.
Oh, okay. And yikes.
Says Tommy.
What,
The Mask?
I guess.
Probably. And
did watch Hellraiser.
Blue
first
Splash.
One pretty good. Hellraiser is the one with the pins, right? All them pins.
Pinhead. Yeah.
Okay, I never saw Hellraiser.
Johnny says people think the Spanish version of Dracula is better than Lugosi's. You know what the best or the most accurate version actually is? Christopher Lee when he did the Hammer Films Dracula, and a lot of people don't know this, but you look it up. I can't remember the exact title. The same year he did the Hammer Dracula, he did another Dracula film with another studio where he had this big mustache and everything. It's more accurate to it's more accurate to Bram Stoker's original book than any other Dracula film that's ever been done.
Mm.
Where
I like.
he's like really old, but if he drinks the blood, he starts looking younger, and he's got
Oh.
the big mustache is a thing
Oh.
that in the book they mentioned his big fierce mustache,
Mm.
and no Dracula ever has a mustache.
I like Hammer films, and it's always weird because it's like certain um directors, you can tell their films, but when you see a Hammer film without even knowing if you've seen enough, you know, oh man, that's a Hammer film. Yeah. And I like watching them. And they have on, I want to say Tubi, they have the Hammer TV shows. They had like a bunch of TV shows that came out, and they're pretty good. And it's like horror. I think it's, I don't know if it's thriller or something. I can't remember the name of it, but it's on Tubi. But it's all Hammer TV shows, and it's like horror based. It's pretty good.
He's asking a different question. That's what it is. Robert says,
Robert got confused.
Didn't you say you had a Star Wars figure that survived your toy purge? That's why I thought that was your oldest. You mean my personally oldest toy? Personally oldest toy is a plush Snoopy that I have, and it's upstairs in the office, and that, to my understanding, was a crib toy.
Okay.
I don't know where it came from.
I thought that pink teddy bear that's all kind of dirty was your crib toy.
No.
Oh.
No, that's something else. It's Snoopy, the Snoopy.
Yeah, Halloween.
Oldest Star Wars figure is Luke here, the one that I stole. He's pretty loose.
Yeah, Halloween 3, I think, is very underrated. People didn't give it a chance.
Yeah.
I think most people didn't give it a chance because, again, they got so involved with Michael Myers that they wouldn't give nothing else a chance. And they probably would have went in a whole different direction. And it probably would have been good if people didn't cry for Michael Myers to come back. But I really like Halloween 3. The first time I saw it, I was like, hey, where's Michael Myers? But then I kept watching. It was kind of creepy and scary to me, especially when them worms and bugs started coming out of that man. Yeah.
Yeah. Johnny says Lugosi's version will always be remembered.
Yeah.
Tommy says they can't imagine not growing up watching old black and white monster films on TV late night before the American anthem and the TV went to static. Yeah, don't go to static no more.
No. You know what we've started listening to in the mornings while going to work is the old radio dramas.
Yeah, radio dramas.
Yeah, they're on YouTube. The old radio dramas, they're actually pretty good to listen to because you can imagine what's going on. It's just a radio recording of a story that they did, and they did the Dracula one, and that one was pretty good. But we've been watching that for the last couple, listening to it in the last couple of weeks because it's just a radio drama. All you can do is listen to it, so you can still do stuff around while you're getting ready for work. Doing that. So we've been doing that recently.
Munin says that I guess modern horror movies are now just cheap jump scares or attempts to make people vomit, not scary, or they're gore fests. They're
and no storyline.
Gore porn.
Yeah. Zero storyline whatsoever.
And Raccoon loves the Brides of Dracula.
I never saw that. I never saw the Brides.
If you didn't see, here's a couple of other things that I grabbed from the Jolanta.
Nerd says Christopher Lee was the Dracula of his era.
Yeah. I did get a couple of Matchbox Fighting Furies from the Jolanta. Okay. 2 pirates. I found 2 of the pirates. I don't have the Ghost of Captain Kidd, the glow-in-the-dark figure. And they're kind of Big Jim-ish. And they're from like 1974. And I think the Fighting Furies has a total of 7 figures, 3 pirates, 3 cowboy Western figures, and 1 kung fu figure. And they have some outfits and a couple of play sets or something. But you just don't find any of them in the box.
Yeah.
And these boxes, I mean, look at the condition. They're fantastic. They're fantastic. And it was another thing where, I just saw the edge of the box under a big pile of stuff. Like, those Fighting Furies? No way. Let me see. And he didn't hardly want anything for them.
Yeah, The Shadow has a radio drama. So we're going to
Right.
finish the one we're on now. I think we're on the CBS radio dramas now.
Yeah.
But it's a bunch. And I got them saved in the playlist so we can watch. I keep saying watch. So we can listen to them. But they're actually kind of fun to listen to.
Yeah.
And it's very dramatic. But some of them, it's like, dude, why are you doing that? Why are you going over there? Don't do that. But it's cool to listen to. Have you ever seen the silent version of Dracula or Frankenstein?
I've seen a few silent films. I don't think I've seen that specifically. I've seen Nosferatu and stuff like that. And
yeah.
Foolish Wives is a good one. Foolish Wives is a good one. Real interesting surprise ending on that one. Blue Splash has a lot of modern horrors, way too much gore, no good plots. Yeah, they want to shock you.
But you know what's because even when we were at the movie theater last night and they showed the trailers, they had a couple of horror films. It seems like they're doing more horror films now than before.
Yeah.
It seems like the bulk of the movies that come out is a horror or thriller. Horror or thriller film. And it's just ridiculous. Like they got one coming out named Smile, where these creepy looking people this girl comes in contact with people, and I guess some kind of spirit is in her that's causing people to die.
Yeah, it's called the jump scare film.
Yeah, and the only way to stop it is for her to die. So now they're gonna come up with this elaborate way for her to die, and it's like, why you need all that?
And then every scene they showed like 25 jump scare scenes all in these collages, and it's like, enough.
Yeah, and it's just like, what's the point in this? And that's how I felt with I saw Final Destination when that came out in the 90s or early 2000s, and that was about the first one was a bunch of high school kids were going on their senior trip, and they were going to fly. And this one guy was adamant that something was going to happen to the plane. Don't get on the plane. So him and a couple of other students didn't get on the plane. And when the plane took off, it blew up. So now the premise of the movie is those people that got off the plane were supposed to die on the plane. Now they have to die. But it's like, okay, I can go with that premise, but do they have to die in the most gruesome way possible?
Yeah,
you can't just die
in ways that don't make any sense.
Yeah,
like the guy getting his hand stuck in the garbage disposal, and
or I don't know if it was in the second one, because that thing had like 5 films. I think
too many.
A window pane falls and crushed the person. It's like, okay, you couldn't just go to sleep and die. If it was your time, you just couldn't go to sleep and die or whatever. I don't know. It's just that's when I really started getting out, because I loved horror movies up until then. And I really started getting away from them, because it was just like, this is just too much. Then you had Saw to come out, and that just got weird. The first one was fine. Then the rest of them just went on. Twilight Zone has a good radio. Okay, I'm gonna look for that one.
Stewart there.
Yeah, and then we got the
Jesse
artist.
Say What is here.
Happy Saturday.
Glad you could join us.
Here?
Fletcher says Star Wars. Yeah, and so did Masters of the Universe, but it's only in German.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I believe it's only in German.
In case you didn't hear, the
Jujutsu Kaisen
ended poorly.
Okay. Too many unanswered questions.
And dropped the plot line.
We haven't seen it.
No.
So
we ain't read the manga either.
It's Blue Splash says, how many times do you have to smile? It's Smile 2, right?
Yeah. And then I'm looking, I'm like, God, that came out already. They had a first one. And do you have to have a sequel? Does every movie have to have a sequel.
No, they don't. Sometimes they stand alone. That's why I'm glad they never made a sequel of Fifth Element. The first one was fine.
I think they're doing more horror because it's the only thing that isn't an MCU movie. I don't know.
Maybe.
I think it's just easier to do. You don't need good acting. You don't need a lot of storyline. You just need gore and screaming, and that's about it. You don't need much for it.
I guess.
Jump scares is just lazy writing for modern sheeple who can't sit still and watch a story develop.
Well, they got to put their phone down.
Yeah.
Tommy says it sounds like Donnie Darko.
I never saw that.
They had a sequel to that too. And Blue Splash, now the only modern horror mystery I really enjoy is Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm.
And Munin said, anybody hear about the problems Ubisoft is having when they were a teenager? It was one of the most popular game companies.
I don't know what Ubisoft is.
Yeah. And Darren is here. Saw movies were really over the top gore, like you said. One first is okay.
Yeah, it was okay. It actually had a storyline. It actually had a plot. And then after that, it just went out. That plot and storyline just went out the window.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's the same for all of them, really. Michael Myers, Jason, Freddy.
Yeah, give us a break.
Yeah, all of them. The first one, you can get behind. You knew what was going on. But then after that, it was like, oh, let's just make another movie.
The problem with that premise, too, is that unlike vintage horror films, there's no conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
So the evil never dies. So, and you want to see evil defeated in these films.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a trend that started happening in the 70s,
mm-hmm.
where they would come out with something and at the end of the film you weren't sure.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't sure anymore. And now the evil is successful in these films. The innocent or good parties are the ones who are the losers in a lot of more modern horror films.
Yeah.
And it goes against nature.
Yeah.
That's not what people. You want to see a good person triumph. They can't triumph if you've got Nightmare on Elm Street 26 coming out, because every time you defeat him, no, guess what? Nah, you didn't. So he's just going to go tear up some more people
and
that have done
a bunch of people.
Nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Or even Friday the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
Those people did nothing wrong. Even in the first one,
mm-hmm.
when it was the mother, you know, I'm not spoiling it. I think everybody knows by now. When it was the mother, what happened in camp happened over a decade ago.
Yeah.
These kids that she killed had nothing to do with it. They were
mm-hmm.
trying to reopen the camp. They were there to clean it up.
Mm-hmm.
She murdered innocent people. And then they started with Jason.
Mm-hmm.
And all he did was murder innocent people through the whole series. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to see that. And that's a trend in a lot of modern films, and it's gotten worse over the years.
Yeah.
Where evil triumphs pretty much all the time.
And I've gotten out of horror. I don't really watch it. Yeah. Every now and then I might watch one, or like not really a new one. I'll watch an old one because it has a plot. Like David says, it usually kind of ends.
Yeah, it has a conclusion.
But like these new ones, because you never know what's going on. Why is this happening? You know, or then you get the explanation and it's like ridiculous. It's like, I don't even know what that is. Legend said if Rod Serling was still alive, he would be 100 this year.
Yeah.
Now,
William Randall is here.
Hey, William Randall. If he was alive, I think we would have had some really good TV shows and movies, because he did excellent. Now, he did a rendition of a Christmas, was it?
A Christmas Carol. It was a real dark version of
it was totally different. You almost didn't realize it was a Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
But he did a good job with it. It's on YouTube.
William went to the Great Ohio Toy Show. He saw a Motu Joe there.
Uh-huh.
You know, Motu Joe's a real nice guy.
Yeah, yeah.
actually.
He's really nice when you meet him. Because you know how some people, they nice on the TV.
Yeah,
And
because
then you get to him.
we've like collaborated with him before. We've talked to him before, but this was at the Joe Lanta was our first chance to meet in person.
Yeah.
We got a good vibe from him.
Yeah, he's a really good guy.
Nerd says he liked The Woman in Black, which was a Hammer film.
Mm-hmm.
And Tommy says Friday the 13th, 4 and 6 are the best ones.
Make games like Splinter Cell, Princes, and all Assassin's
Prince of
Creed.
Persia and Assassin's Creed.
Okay.
All games I never played, so I don't know Munin.
Yeah, I don't play video games. Gore movies equal cash cows.
According to Eddie.
Yeah, that's true.
And Austin's there. He says, "How was the Joker movie?" Oh no,
you missed
You'll
it.
have to go. We talked about that for a heartbeat.
We talked about that for like 45 minutes. Just got back from Dallas barbecue for dinner. Hope you're having a good weekend. Just a little bit. We're not going to go too deep because we talked about it already. It was some good and some bad about the Joker film. Like we said earlier, it was a full-fledged, authentic musical. Because when I think of musicals, I'm thinking Sound of Music, King and I, Fiddler on the Roof, what's the one? Singing in the Rain, Mary Poppins,
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Right.
I love that film.
Those kinds of movies are musicals. The actors are singing, they're dancing, and all of that. So when I first heard that the Joker was going to be a musical, I'm wondering, were they going to do that? Or was it going to be like Guardians of the Galaxy and just have a lot of music playing in the background? No, it was a full-on musical with dancing. But the parts where they were talking, dialogue was excellent. Cinematography was excellent. Acting was great. Was excellent. Now, it was a lot of confusion in the movie because you didn't really get a good vibe of what was going on. You didn't really know what was real, what was fantasy. It was kind of hard to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all about perspective.
Yes.
So go see the movie yourself and make a sound decision and say, I saw this and this is how I felt about it. Nothing wrong. They were smoking weed and having sex. Sinners.
Yeah, says Tommy. Okay.
And
I mean, they weren't trying to hurt anybody.
No, they just wasn't paying attention, and the boy died.
Yeah.
I would love to see Bill Murray in Meatballs meeting Jason's mother.
Oh no. And Pastor Rick says that Boris Karloff, Lon Chaney Jr., Vincent Price, black and white classics without a doubt. Yeah. And Vincent Price did a lot of comedies. He did a lot of comedy. People don't realize. They think of him as for being in the thrillers, but he did many funny films.
I can't remember the one where he was the Undertaker and him and his wife, their back and forth was hilarious. You remember the one he was an
Undertaker. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and oh god,
I cannot remember the name of that movie, but boy, that thing was funny. The interaction between him and his wife was just worth it watching it again because it was funny.
William says he picked up because he was at the Great Ohio Show. Okay. Sesame Street plush from Hasbro. Okay. Spock's music from outer space. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Masters of the Universe Smurfs. Ooh. Star Trek The Next Generation Viewmaster reels. Wow. Oh, wow. Excellent.
Okay, he posted some pictures. Okay, you posted it up on Facebook, I'm guessing.
Okay.
Twilight Zone episode Art Carney.
Art Carney is Santa. I remember the Santa.
And then
that was a fun one.
Every time he reached in the bag, toys would come out. It was like a bottomless pit.
But if anyone else reached in there, they get trash. that was fun.
And they thought he was stealing it.
Yeah. And William said he told Motu Joe about the retiring from collecting plan. He thought it was interesting.
Okay. What's your retirement from collecting plan? I don't think he ever told us that.
He's gonna give us all his toys.
Oh, and we're gonna watch it for him?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. All right. We'll watch it. We'll put it up.
Keep an eye on it.
Mm-hmm. We'll keep it dusted. Go ahead.
Munin says that I basically hit the biggest problem with the horror movies. can there at least be a good guy strong enough to take on or defeat the villain? It's basically fish in a barrel. Yeah.
But like,
And it's been that way for a while.
The thing with and I'll go back to Michael Myers, because they keep rehashing this guy. I mean, he blows up in the hospital, and I think it was Halloween 2000. No, Halloween 2000. This sister Jamie whatever Jamie Lee Curtis, right?
Yeah.
Whatever her name is, chopped his head off. He still comes back. I mean, they do everything to kill this guy, and he keeps coming back. And it's like, why do y'all keep bringing? Are people asking for him at this point to come back? The one thing that
they want another check, so they find a way to resurrect him and get a writer to make something up.
But the one thing I always hope for, and I kind of thought they were going to do that when it came back the last time, a couple of years back, was Michael explaining why he started doing all of this killing. Because him and Jamie Lee Curtis was in the house in the basement, and she had him pinned, and it looked like she was going to ask him, Michael, why are you doing this? Why you keep doing all this and stuff like that? But that never happened, and I guess they don't want to close the chapter, because then it's like, okay, now everybody knows why he's doing this, so we can't go on anymore. And they almost did it with, I think it was part 5, with the niece. And the niece, he got to the niece and was about to kill her, and she was like, Uncle Michael, please don't hurt me. And he started crying and stuff and kind of left her alone. But I don't know. It's just too much. It's like, okay, he should have died in part 2. It's I don't know. Masters of the Universe was the one who bought. Oh, what was the 1/6? Yeah, he was. He was the guy.
The one that was after that 6th scale.
Yeah, he
Castle
bought that.
Grayskull.
Yeah, he bought that. I told him I can't wait to see the reviews, the unboxing of that. Friday the 13th was magic. The
really?
musical.
No.
Oh God,
No.
They keep bringing back Freddy and Jason because they are not creative enough to write. Yes,
characters.
Because they are creatively bankrupt.
I had a theory about Michael Myers.
What is that?
If you tie Halloween 3 back to the first film, because there is an Easter egg from Halloween in the 3rd movie, because they're watching it on the TV.
Right.
Now, if you tie it back, and the kid, he puts on the mask, loses his mind, runs around, stabs up his sister. Okay. What if he put on one of the masks from Halloween 3, if that was in the same universe, and it was supposed to do something to the people who were wearing them?
Well, it was
supernatural,
because they were supposed to put on a thing, and then you remember that song was playing.
Yeah, but what exactly were they supposed to do?
They were supposed to put on a mask, and then the worms and stuff started coming out the mask. It killed them all.
Okay.
Yeah, they said that in the thing.
All right.
You got like 3 more days. I can't remember the song now, but it gets stuck in your head when you hear it.
Yeah.
But you were supposed to put the mask on, and then on that day at that time, you
watch
died.
This channel.
Yeah, you watch that channel.
And that's when they were going to send the signal.
Yeah, and then everybody dies.
William says he's planning on retiring from collecting in 3 years and shifting the focus toward the preservation and enjoyment of what he has.
Okay, I think I do remember you saying that.
I'm not carrying it. If anything, it's all mine. No, I'm just messing with you.
That's right. Don't get rid of nothing. Just take a break. Sometimes you just need a break. Don't mean you need to give up nothing. Just take a break.
Robert says he remembers me talking about mixing Michael and Halloween 3 together and thought it was a great idea. It would explain it if they wanted to go in that direction. It would explain it.
Yeah, because I thought even Rob Zombie was going to do a little explanation. I mean, he showed some of the background that he went crazy, but never really what went on with him. And that's why I kept watching it for a while. I watched a lot of them because I wanted to know what happened. Because it was like one day He just killed his family.
There's got to be a supernatural element too, because even in the Rob Zombie version, nobody who's in a mental institution's that strong. That's TV magic, is what that is, unless there's a supernatural element.
Because he could be exercising. You exercise in prison.
No, not in a mental institution. We both worked in mental health. Those guys, you could, if somebody was 350 pounds, I could handle them because they were like marshmallows.
Yeah.
They're so weak and so medicated and so like lazy
and doped up.
Yeah, there's no muscle mass at all. They're big schleps. So whenever I see these things where you've got these ultra strong, crazy person in a mental institution, I'm like, nah, none of them are. They none of them are. They're pretty weak, no matter how big they are.
Yeah.
And we had the one guy, God, he must have been 300 pounds. How big? Yeah, you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, he was like 260 pounds.
Yeah, he was big.
But he was like
tall.
mush.
He was tall.
If you squeezed his hands like this,
it would keep going.
Yeah, it was literally like squeezing marshmallow or dough
and
having
like
it come through your fingers.
And he'd have fits where he'd run up and hit people because he was violent.
Yeah.
And he actually ran up behind her and hit her, and she's looking and she turned and she goes, something happened?
Yeah, you don't even
she
feel
didn't
it.
even realize that he had done her, and he had full on ran up and haymakered her in the back. And she was like, did he do something? What happened? They were all like that.
Yeah, they were like violent people, but
yeah,
you didn't feel it. It was like you could tell he was when he hit people, you could tell he was putting in all his strength.
Yeah.
And it was just nothing.
Think of Homer Simpson in the boxing match. Remember when Mo was training Homer? Some of you might have seen that. And he's got Homer in the ring, and he was like, okay, let's try a few rounds. He has the pads up. He said, go ahead, Homer. Just hit one of the pads as hard as you can. And a fly lands on the pad, and he swings and he hits it. And then his fist drops and the fly flies away. And then he was like, okay, Homer, you want to try another one? And Homer's up in the ropes, and he's like, oh, just give me a minute to catch my breath, Mo. I just hang on a minute, Mo. And he was like, okay, maybe the hitting pot's not for you, Homer. It's like,
I didn't take any pictures at the show. I just took pictures of my hall. There were a lot of people there. Kind of made it difficult to look at. Yeah.
I can imagine.
When it's a lot of people, it's hard to look at things because you got some people that lurk and just stand. And they ain't doing nothing. They're just standing.
Yeah, they know.
And it's like you're not looking at anything. And
go away.
Yeah, you can't say, can you move?
There ought to be a guy whose job it is to walk around through the middle of there with a cat of 9 tails. Get out of the way!
Or with a cattle prod. And it's like, move it on along. Moving on along.
Well, and again, one of the main reasons why I was glad that Brett wanted to have a lot of aisle space.
Hey, Frank.
Yeah, Frank and Frog is here. Aisle space in the shows from now on, so that you're not all on top of each other.
And do a commentary.
Nosferatu. Yeah, although that's the silent. You know, there's a 70s version of Nosferatu that's a German film that is dubbed in English. That's pretty good. Actually, it's pretty good. One of the other pickups I got. Here's one you don't see very often. And this is pretty cool. And this is the Batmobile with 2 little rubber Batman and Robin. And look at Robin, he's like this fat little kid. You see this like little fat face with a big smile. Did you see that? Look at Robin.
Oh God, his face is fat.
Yeah, he's like a little chubby kid with it looks like he's wearing glasses.
We're watching the 66 Batman right now. Oh God, it's funny. I think I told y'all
hilarious. And this is the Azrak Hamway 1974 motorized Batman. Look at those hubcaps. Look at those hubcaps. And I'm going to see if I can if I can get it going. I love finding stuff like this. This is pretty tough to come by. But I mean, that's why we go to these things.
Yeah.
And that one guy, he has a lot of 60s stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He comes up with a lot of great 60s stuff, and I like catching him at the show.
You know, something else we're doing, listening to records. We're listening to Elvis, and we heard 2 of his gospel records, and they're actually pretty good.
Yeah, they're really good.
They're really good. And I'm like, you know, I like Elvis
It's like
anyway.
rockabilly gospel, which I've not heard before.
Yeah. And it's surprisingly good because I'm like, oh man, I got these in a lot. But it's Elvis. I'll just try it out. And you know, I'm thinking, I'm not gonna like this. But it's actually really good. There was over 700 tables to look at. Yeah. You need
William
all
says.
the days.
That's like the Kane County.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like Kane County. Munin says you see a lot of that at shows, people standing around doing literally nothing.
Yeah.
Why are they there? They look like they don't even know where they are half the time. Are you just bored?
What's on the bottom of the Batmobile?
There you go. It's got this catch lever for if he, it crashes into something.
Oh,
and it's got that spinner wheel in the center.
Mm-hmm.
And, again, it's motorized based on the center wheel, and it spins around and makes noise. But, of course, it's not working right now because the battery compartment needs to be cleaned out. And Nerd wants to know if I have Azrak monsters. No. Because they did Monsters and they did the Planet of the Apes, and those Planet of the Apes figures are actually based on the Japanese knockoff film. But I don't have any of those. You see them from time to time. They're pretty expensive. AMH wants to know what show. This came from the Retro Toy Swap today.
Yeah. And then we were talking to William Randall. He went to the Great Ohio show. So we're actually talking about 2 shows at the same time.
Because he got to get out there this weekend, which is pretty
William
cool.
Randall went to the Great Ohio show, and we went to the Retro Toy Swap in Powder Springs, Georgia. Yeah. I was hoping you were going to be live tonight. Yeah,
well, we are.
We usually do on Saturdays.
We couldn't do it last week.
Yeah, because we were at the
Joe Fest.
Jolanta.
Yeah, Joe Lanta. Now you got me doing it.
How do you even look at half of what?
It's not easy because we have been to the Kane County in Illinois.
You don't see.
It'll take up the whole day, and you're probably not going to be able to rotate through a second time.
Yeah, and I think Kane County is 2 days.
Yeah, I think that's a bit too much though, because I think it'd be harder to pin down deals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because you don't have time to walk around, and then if you do walk around, you can't remember where to go back to.
Yeah, and I bet that would be a bitch to film. Nerd says they have a black Batmobile like that, sound activated.
Oh, wow.
And AMH said, gotcha, been meaning to go to that toy swap. I've seen your videos going there. Yeah, the next one will be in December.
Yeah,
it should be
December.
The first Saturday of December.
Yeah, and then
looking at.
The next day is the Conyers Toy and Comic Show in Conyers,
That's
Georgia.
right.
So
the very next day.
You got 2 things going on.
Back to back.
That one on Saturday and on Sunday.
And the Conyers one is pretty good too.
Yeah. Yeah. It's usually at the VFW, not the VFW, because there is a VFW. And it's not there. It's at the other one. Something veteran, something another. With the helicopter on the outside. Not the VFW, because there is a VFW, but it's not there.
Yeah.
See.
And Blue Splash says they hate to go one of the shows and the vendors are all overpriced too much, like eBay.
A lot of times that do happen.
Yeah.
Sometimes, even when they're overpriced, sometimes the vendor will come down. It's like they price it high, knowing that people are going to want a deal, and they'll come down. Sometimes they just refuse to move. Do you have any Leonard Nimoy records?
I don't have any from Leonard Nimoy, no. William. And AMH says, Joe Lanta wasn't a pay week for me, but I went in at 9 a.m. and no one was there. Got my Valaverse Praetorian that I wanted to talk to Sarge. Okay, broke out. Gave someone my pass on the way out the door. Wow.
Wow, that was nice.
That was nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sarge is always friendly.
He is.
Yeah,
He's a
He's
nice
always
guy.
friendly.
He always speak and wave at you and all of that there.
He's one of the guys that doesn't mind doing it. Some people, you can tell it's a job.
Yeah.
And I think he kind of enjoys it.
And he poses for pictures with you, because I saw him taking a picture with some guy and he had the guy in a headlock.
Oh yeah, he does that Cobra clutch on people.
Yeah. So he don't mind like touching and doing, posing and doing all that. Because sometimes you see people and they standing like inches apart and their hands all in front of them.
I am in proximity to my favorite star, and I paid $800 for this photo. You hear stuff like that. Robert says, "Will we do another talk like we did last week?" At the Toylanta, they might ask us to do another panel for Toylanta coming up in March.
We'll have a different topic, of course.
Yeah.
But if they ask us to do a panel, we'll do it.
We'll probably do it.
Yeah.
And I was able also at the Toylanta to pick up Migos, and I showed that. And if has anybody seen them? Do you want to see the Migos?
Yeah, show the Migos you got.
I did pick up a few. I found some carded Migo figures, which is always cool.
Oh, saw a collector on YouTube did a sneaky price stick swap at Ollie's and told people he didn't even when the discount wasn't enough. And told people he didn't even when the discount wasn't enough. It's like, how do you do stuff like that and then make a YouTube video bragging about it?
You're in a showcase that you're a snake in the grass.
Yeah. He was super cool. He didn't even mention the pricing. Jake the Snake didn't even want to talk when I met him a few years ago. The Cobra clutch costs extra.
Oh, you got to pay him for the Cobra clutch?
Smiling. Okay.
Okay, I don't know.
Okay, go ahead.
Because I haven't taken any pictures with him. But yeah, there was a guy there that had some vintage Migo.
Mm-hmm.
So chips, and they came in the cases. They actually came in the cases, but there's the classic chips John from that super TV show To You. That's what it says. Fully posable 8-inch action figure from that super TV show To You. And he's got you see in the package there, there's this little glasses and a sticker, the stickers for his shirt. So you'll be sure to lose those immediately. And then Paunch on the card. Paunch and John. No, I don't have a motorcycle. And these are Zolo World cases.
Yeah. The guy sold them with the Zolo World cases.
Unpunched.
No, I've never heard of that cartoon.
Frankenfrog, Toonsylvania. It sounds familiar, but off the top of my head, Unit says, didn't wear the crown or take the mace. By the way, how is the anime stuff displayed? I noticed Obito Uchiha figure on display. It was all right. I mean, if you saw the live, I think I showed absolutely everything in the live preview, except for...
Hey, Monty.
Oh, Monty's here, except for the guy that does primarily $6 Million Man, because he was late and he wasn't set up. Monty says, curious, have you heard of an Asian artist named Yunsul? He makes 1/6 custom figures. I heard his customs go around 2,000. Is it worth it? I'm not familiar with them. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we're not really big on
some of the custom stuff gets really expensive.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to bet in the future aftermarket, a lot of it's not going to hold up. But we'll see. And he's asking about this stuff that I'm showing now.
Okay.
Hey, and Action Joe is there.
Okay, go ahead.
As we get on. And then, of course, Starsky and Hutch. Unpunched again. And I have Starsky and I have Hutch. I do not have the other figures or the car.
Okay.
But he had these mint on the card. So, worked out something with him. And it was a good opportunity to, I love the simulated autographs. Like, oh, yeah, sure, he signed these. It's a good opportunity to start getting some of my carded Migos back.
Yeah.
because I used to have a lot of carded and boxed Migos,
Mm.
including the entire Star Trek line.
Oh wow.
The entire Star Trek line, the entire Planet of the Apes run,
Mm.
and a handful of the superheroes. Not too many, but a handful of the superheroes. And I had the Starsky and Hutches and all of that. So it was an opportunity to start getting some of these back.
Yeah, it costs them extra, but you get a commemorative coin. That's nice.
Commemorative coin.
Yeah, for the Sergeant Slaughter to put you in that choke seat.
Oh, and Johnny says during C virus, they put a huge plexiglass between you and the actor, so you're not even standing next to them. And some of them are still doing it that way. I can't remember who it was. There's an actress who does that, who like there's a barrier between you, so that when you sit next to her, you can't even see her.
I remember seeing pictures of that during COVID, and it's like, why even bother?
And Matt says, looks familiar.
Mm-hmm.
And William says, I think the collecting journey began with Star Trek Next Generation from Glue and went to Playmates. Glue was an all right line. It was an all right line.
Yeah, I think I have a couple of things from Glue.
Yeah.
Action Joe loves the Mego figures.
Yeah, these are, and this is, again, you know, I had, a lot of you know, I had a large collection that was ripped off. So this is, and I haven't really been able to get back into Mego, but the guy swung me a real nice deal on him. So I was like, okay, it was an opportunity to jump into that a little bit again. You know, just put your foot in the water and test it.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter that he apologized. It's still like, dude, you stole from the store, you get on YouTube and you make a video bragging about it.
That's like that one video that you always used to go on about where the guy, see, look at her already. He had a big channel. Not going to name anybody.
We don't remember who it is.
We're not looking for a feud anyway. We just want to give, normal content here. But bragged about how he was like ordering online like Legends figures or whatever, and like swiping parts out of them or putting like crap figures back in the packages and returning them.
Yeah, he would take them to the
figure
store.
Swapping.
Yeah, he would take them to the store to return them.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then you got a YouTube channel and you going on the channel telling people that's what you do. It's like,
and you got like hundreds of thousands of subscribers or whatever, or however many, I don't know.
Matt has Chip Sarge on the card.
Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, the chips also had 3 3/4 inch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they had the small ones too.
Oh, no problem.
I think the small ones are a lot more expensive.
Red Gran Torino. What that went with?
With Starsky and Hutch.
Okay. It's crazy how toxicity of 80s action figures yellow the bubble. 60s and 70s toys don't have that worry.
Well, certain toy lines, like I know LJN was pretty bad in the 80s. Like especially the Dune line is famous for turning so yellow it's like clouded, you can't even see through it. And then that happened with Ideal towards the end with their packaging before they went out of business. And Robert says Paunch looks zombie-like. He's got a little bit of the graying, but that's unfortunately, but that's really common with Mego.
My mom threw away all my.
Oh no, Joe! No, Action says they threw them away.
Oh, no problem, Matt. And Pastor wants our P.O. box. Yeah, I'll type it in.
Yeah, let me because we just changed our P.O. box.
Yeah, here we
just changed our P.O. box. Do you remember it off the top of your head?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, you're smart. I don't have it all down myself.
I'm gonna type it in.
Well, you're doing it wrong.
Oh
anyways.
yeah.
No. Yeah, because you got to put number. And it's like David and LPH.
Yeah.
You should have said. But yeah, that's the new
that's our new box. Now where are we? Okay. I don't own any Mego, says David.
Okay.
And losing that collection would give a man PTSD.
Yeah,
Invest.
and I got a solid
Just-
woman. Yes, I do. She's fantastic. You couldn't pay me to say something negative about her.
Like Bo and Luke do.
Well, I mean, it's Migo.
Yeah.
It's Migo, and she has the
Concert
Dukes
and
that has it on the card.
it always is taking crazy photos with her fans. Oh, Gosner on.
If you remember the beginning of the first movie
Mhm.
where the door opens and the woman is there
Okay.
and she's the spirit. Are
Mhm.
you a god? And then Dan Aykroyd's like, no. And then she tells him to die.
Oh wow.
And then Bill Murray's like, next time somebody asks you if you're a god, you say yes.
Did your ex sell your
And
stuff or threw
Dorian
them
wants to
away?
know. She sold it. She sold it and she ran away to Vegas. Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. She was selling it on eBay, and I could even demonstrate it to the judge because I had the stuff printed off.
Jeez,
and he didn't care. He didn't want to see it. He was like, I don't want to hear about your bullshit.
Oh, geez.
Basically. It was very one-sided.
They call that being a thief.
Yeah. It's huge. I could have filled this room over and over.
I've been using your philosophy of targets of opportunity
says,
and have had some astounding success in recent weeks. Getting major deals on them was a bonus. Yeah, because we
that's
figured
our philosophy.
Yeah, we figured that out when we first started going toy hunting or going to shows. We would go with a list or something in mind, and then when it wasn't there, you got all depressed and then you didn't really look for anything else because you were looking for the stuff on the list.
Yeah, you had your blinders on.
Yeah. So then once we threw away the list and you just go and you look, then you see everything. You're like, oh, I didn't know about this. I forgot I wanted that. Or, hey, I ain't seen this in a long time. And it really opens you up to new things and then what's really out there. So we do that with the toys, the comics, the records, any show we go to. Now with the records, the very first time we went to a record show, I messed up and
Is it Southeast Green Street?
Oh, you don't need that part.
You don't need that part. Okay.
The very first time I went to a record show, I had a list. I looked for all of the records that was on my list and I didn't find any. And I was mad. I didn't ever want to go back to a record show. Then I thought about it. I was like, you got to go back to the model. Just go to the show and look through the records and find what you want. Find what you like or forgot about or stuff like that. So.
Reston says they noticed that I acknowledged the camera during the panel discussion while I was holding the Joe. Well, you want to make sure that, if anybody looks at the video, they can see what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
In all fairness.
Yeah.
And Robert says, what happens if you get something bigger than the box, like a package? They put a slip in the box and they hold it behind the counter and you bring the slip and pick it up.
Yeah, they hold it for you. The majority of the stuff, because we rent the smallest box possible because they're going to hold your package anyway.
Yeah. So why pay for a massive box unless you just get tons of letters?
Yeah, but you got to get like 100 letters a day for that to even be worth it. Yeah. So get the smallest box they got. They're going to put a slip in the box. And then you go to the counter and get your package.
Yep, and Johnny's got to go.
Okay, Johnny. You'll catch us on the replay. Talk to you later.
And William says he saw some micro Dukes of Hazzard cars at the show. Okay.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of Dukes of Hazzard pop up lately. The Starsky and the Hutch look like...
a little bit. And they also kind of look like the Planet of the Apes humans, also the astronauts a little bit. And of course, the Planet of the Apes Migos are based on the live action show. Fiddle Chips, he said, my wife stole my collection. I'd be wearing her skin Buffalo Bill style. Wow. I wasn't trying to go to prison.
His wife are going on extended vacation.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, she said that she was going on to go see her mom or going to see her friend. She was going on a girls' weekend in the mountains, and it wasn't going to be a phone service or internet access. So I was expecting her to come back in a week. I'm patient with getting new figures for my collection. I wait for the right price and not going to overpay for something.
Because you can jump the gun.
Yeah, you can. I've done that a couple times. I didn't use a list today.
It
Yep.
was enjoy. Yeah.
Because when you don't have a list, you're not stressed.
Yeah.
When you got the list, you're stressed because you're looking for the stuff on the list.
Something else.
But
No,
you're,
something
you're
else
looking
that I
for
picked
the
up.
you're looking for the stuff that's on the list. But throw that list in the trash and it frees you up. In the coming weeks, I have a major figure purchase coming. Several anime figures.
Okay.
Wow. Make sure you take pictures and put them on Facebook so we can
Yeah.
all see and enjoy them.
And Monty says, "What's your favorite size? If statues,
I like. Oh, go ahead.
half, third, fourth, sixth. Do you have a preference?"
I like the quarter scale. The ones back here that you see are quarter scale. Half is just too big. It's just too big.
Yeah.
1/3. I don't think any of those are 1/3. I think they're. I know they moved them up.
Yeah.
But I like the quarter scale. I mean, they're big, but they're workable. But I've seen those half scales. I've seen the half scale bus and all of that. That's just way too big. That takes a lot of space.
Yeah.
A lot. And I don't even have all my statues out because of space.
Stone Sour wants to know if the Atlanta Record Show has guest speakers.
No,
I don't think they do anything
they
like
don't
that.
do nothing like that. Thank you,
Mickey
Mickle.
Stapler. Mickle Stapler made a donation to the channel, and he says, "I genuinely appreciate the work you both do with this channel. Your collection's awesome. I stay for the personality and conversation. Well done." Well,
thank you.
We appreciate that.
The Atlanta Record Show, they don't do anything. No guest speakers, no panels, no nothing. Just
records.
Convention hall full of dealers and records, tapes, and 8-tracks.
Yes, CDs.
Yeah, you have CDs.
And Funko.
Yeah, you got that one person.
There is that one guy.
Yeah, he always got Funko Pops.
At least their music Funko.
Yeah. And then the last time we were there, it was a guy selling record players. Like, they weren't high end, but they were mid. They were in the $200 to $300 range. Yeah. And yes, that is not high end because those record players can go well over $1,000.
Yeah,
those are the high
quality, high fidelity systems can be very expensive. Yeah.
I got a mid range system that I built myself. I bought it for $12 at Value Village, and I looked it up online. It's
not cheap.
No, it is not cheap. It's an older model, and that's what I wanted. I really wanted an older model record player.
Not the one from Walmart for $50.
Yeah, because I bought that one from Amazon.
It's a piece of crap.
And the sound quality is just not there.
Yeah.
So then I bought like these desk speakers, and the sound quality was a little bit better, but it was just not there. Then I bought this again from Amazon. It's just like, it looks like a retro style, like the compact stereo with the record player, the 2 cassette decks, and a CD player and a tuner. So that was all in one. I mean, it's tiny. I doubted if it weighs a pound. Sound quality wasn't there.
No.
So we were in Value Village, and I saw this record player, and it said $12. And I was like, I don't care. I'm going to take it home and see if it works. And I went to pick it up thinking about that little half a pound record player I got from Amazon. To pick it up, I was like, oh shoot, this thing got some weight on it.
It's like 20 pounds.
Yeah, that thing is heavy. And
solid state.
Yeah, but now it had to have a amplifier. So I had to buy an amplifier. Got that from Goodwill. And that one came with speakers, surround sound speakers. So I didn't pay much. All I had to do was buy the speaker wire, and that was it.
Yeah.
So now I got this mid-range system that I only paid like $40 for. And I'm happy, and it sounds good.
Okay.
Casted wide net. I want cool stuff. Sticking to a list will always cost. That's true.
According to Fiddle Chips.
That is true.
And then Monty says, do you have a preference in statue companies? Prime 1, J&D, Sideshow, Tweeterhead. Sideshow has the best value for your money. I have to say Prime 1 and J&D are the top 2. Tweeterhead can be kind of disappointing.
I have
So can Iron Studios.
I have 2 Tweeterhead statues, and I'm disappointed in both. I bought the Tweeterhead Hordak.
Yes.
I bought the first one, and I wasn't happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought the second one, thinking, "Oh, the second one will be better. They're gonna do something."
Filmation version, right?
They ain't did nothing. I wasn't happy with it. I love Prime 1,
Well,
and I love.
Tweeterhead also made that He-Man and Battle Cat.
I thought that was PCS.
Is it?
I think that's PCS.
Oh yeah, you're right. And PCS they blew that
not,
too.
I wouldn't. I hate to say I wouldn't recommend them, because everybody got their price range. Tweeterhead and PCS is at the lower end when you're talking about quarter scale and third scale statues.
Yeah.
But the quality isn't great.
And they skimp in the weirdest places.
Yeah.
And my argument was always, because we did unboxing and reviews of those, but they skimp in the weirdest places, like with the He-Man. They go through all the trouble with this sculpting, and then they give him a vinyl sword that's not even straight. It's this,
and it
looks like gray plastic.
Yeah,
and it's bent, and it's like so cheap looking.
Yeah,
But
now,
that sword drives me nuts.
Prime 1, XM, and Queen Studios have the best. I think the quality is better. Paint, they usually use soft goods in its good quality. Queen Studios, you're gonna get rooted hair, you're gonna get glass eyes, but you're gonna pay for that. So I have those 3: Prime 1, XM, and a Queen Studio. And I love those more than the others because the quality was better. Will I get rid of any of them? No. There's not one statue I have, even the Hordak, I would never get rid of it. Even the PCS, I wouldn't get rid of it. I like them all, but I don't think I would ever buy another Tweeterhead, and I would never. I hate to say never, because they might come out with something I really like, but I don't think I would get another PCS, and I don't think I would get another Tweeterhead.
Or Iron Studios.
Iron Studios did that little 1/12 scale statue, and I had got that. It was the Batman, the 89 Batman, and oh man, I don't know. I think it was just the cape. It was a head and a cape. You don't know if anything was under there.
He don't have arms.
No.
They didn't bother putting arms on him.
They didn't put nothing on him. And I'm like, J&D. I don't know what J&D is. So you have to spell out J&D. It's probably something I know, but I'm not thinking about it. Yeah. But my top ones, again, is Prime 1, XM, and Queen Studios. I don't know if I'm gonna buy another statue, because boy, those things cost, and they take up a lot of space.
Pete wants to know what we picked up from the toy shop.
Oh, we've
been talking about it all day. Yeah. But I do have something else I forgot about.
Okay, Action Joe, thank you for stopping by. We really appreciate it.
And Reston said he just realized he's been watching for 3 years.
Oh,
it doesn't feel like it. That's because you've been hypnotized.
Okay, Action Joe, thank you. And again, Action Joe Figs does have a channel. He does a lot of repair of G.I. Joe figures and stuff like that. So check out his channel, see what he does. Give him a like, give him a subscribe if you like what you're seeing.
Okay.
Let's see.
William, lazy vendors at the show look like they dumped a tub of toys on their table. No organization.
Yeah.
So we see that.
Yeah, you're always gonna have that guy.
We do see that. And Monty says, I agree. PCS and Tweeterhead skimp. I did order the 1/3 Howling from PCS. I'm praying it comes out nice.
No.
They were disappointing with the Jean-Claude Van Damme, and he thinks that he really likes the Prime 1.
Yeah.
And J&D is silicone statues mostly.
Okay.
And one more, and I'll show these.
Okay.
Fiddle Chip says this channel and Allen's are their favorite kinds. They're a collector. They don't need fools trying to convince an audience that variant cover is the second coming of Christ. No, I'm not pushing a variant cover. I don't have any to sell you.
No.
That's what it is. That's what they do. And they get when they doing that, I bet you they got a case of them in the back.
Richie Rich Dot and Lotta.
Okay.
Okay.
From said Frankenfrog. I also found these at the show, and these are the 1960s ideal Hanna-Barbera hand puppets with the vinyl heads and the soft goods, and that's Pumpkin Puss. Just your traditional little hand puppet. See how I can actually get my hand in there, unlike that other one.
Yeah, because what was going on.
I got that one from Pizza Hut. There's no.
Oh Lord!
I
now
killed
you're
him.
Dropping it.
There's no way I'm getting my hand in there. Forget it. But he does glow in the dark though.
Yay.
One of the ghostly trio. But there's Pumpkin Puss. This dealer had 4 different of these.
Okay.
And they're not easy to come by. And prices may vary. This one's a little rare. That's Ricochet Rabbit. And the soft goods are intact, no broken stitches. The vinyl is good. There's no chew marks. Sometimes you see chew marks on these. The paint application is good. Again, Ideal made these. And they did a bunch of Hanna-Barbera stuff. These 2 still have the original cardboard inserts inside of them. Okay. Still have the original cardboard inserts. And that's Mush Mouse there. And they can get real expensive. Not these and Magilla Gorilla. But there are certain Hanna-Barbera puppets from this line that can go into the hundreds.
Oh wow.
You'll pay like around $500 for one.
Oh geez.
It's crazy. Nice. Yeah. These aren't like that expensive.
Oh, good.
But this guy, no. And plus, I got like a knockout deal on him too, because he didn't want much, and then he gave me a deal for getting the 4 of them. And I'm like, you know what? I don't have any, so 4 in one shot for a good price is a good start. And he had them set up, and again 2 of them still have the insert, and I'm like, wow. But it's just a cardboard insert that keeps the hands out like that.
Okay.
But they were all standing up on beer bottles, and then he says, I'm gonna need the beers back though, because by the end of the day I'm gonna need them.
David says Tweeterhead statues have paint smudges.
Oh my God.
Yeah, when they go too fast, it smudges. And Pastor says, have you seen Edward Scissorhands? And if you have, did you like it?
I have seen the film.
I've never seen it.
It's all right. It's not a bad film. It's visually it's very interesting. It's very interesting.
I seen like a little clip of it, well, a little portion where he was cutting the women's hair and he was cutting the hedges.
Yeah,
that's the only part I've ever seen.
I want to know how he went to the bathroom. They don't explain that in the film,
because that doesn't matter.
Oh, I see. Mutant says modern comics are only still going because of variant covers. It's comics grading variant covers, keeping the comic industry afloat. Yeah, because the writing ain't there.
No, it's not there. And the covers aren't even all that amazing. When that cookie finished crumbling, those covers ain't that great. Some of them are interesting.
Good art, but they're not dynamic at all.
No. Every now and then you might see something like they had the new Marvel Zombie. Those were some nice covers.
Yeah.
I had actually wanted to get a few for the cover. I ain't getting none though. But no,
and plus there's a million variants.
Yeah, and the variants has become a gimmick.
Yeah, it gets old.
Yeah, it's like, golly, now, do you really need all of these variant colors just so you can keep the doors open? And then this one guy on YouTube, he always shows, because he's a comic critic, So he reads a lot of comics, so many comics a week, so he can do a review on it. And all the stuff that he showed, I'm like, mm-mm. And it was one book. He was like, I can't even show you the pictures in the book. They're so graphic. And it was like, I think a Marvel comic, I think. And the pictures was just so bad. And it's like, why are they doing this? You know? And
Shock value.
Yeah. And right now I'm reading the old EC comics because I got all of the reprints of the EC comics. And man, those stories are great. And the pictures and everything are amazing. And it's like, where did the writing fall off? But then I think, and I'm gonna just say this and we're gonna move on. I think because they don't teach kids how to read and write, you can't write a story down if you don't know how to write and you don't know how to get the thoughts from your head to the paper. And then you don't have an imagination because you don't do nothing but play video games.
And if you play games all day, all you're doing is following through someone else's imagination because they wrote a story and you're just walking through it.
I want the big two to completely stop printing comics.
Fiddle Chip says
they can lease the characters to other creators. You know what I read earlier this year? I think it's Batman and Superman go out for public domain this year. I think I am watching Batman Cape Crusader. It's not bad. I like the take that they're doing. You haven't watched but one episode.
I've seen more than one episode.
Well, you was watching it when I wasn't around. But anyway, I like the take that they're doing on these characters. It's different. Okay. Now that Harley Quinn, I don't know what they're doing right there, but.
And Monty says, you two are awesome. I just subscribed to your channel.
Well, thank you, Monty. We really
we do appreciate it. And since he wasn't here,
who
was it asked about?
Yeah, it's not hand drawn anymore.
Yeah, CGI. You can tell.
Yeah,
because there's no depth to the
sale of 7.
To read new comics, I'll buy if 3 in a row are good, says Fiddle Chips. But the person was asking what we picked up today, so I'll show that again. That's 1974 Azrak Hamway Batmobile, motorized Batmobile. Don't know if it works yet or not. Got to put batteries in it. It might need to be cleaned up. I'll see if it functions.
And
but
David wants
that's just really cool. What?
David wants to know if the artist still draw the covers. No.
Depends on the artist.
Yeah.
Like Alex Ross, if he does a cover, he does it traditional.
You know? But the majority of them are using computer programs.
Yes.
So it's drawn on a computer. I don't know. Because I can't draw at all. So.
And Reston says, have those older Hanna-Barbera characters been redone? They remind me of Snagglepuss, Roger Rabbit, and Mickey. Yeah, I mean, those are from the 60s, and that's 60s and 70s is when Hanna-Barbera was the biggest, and they had their hooks in a Saturday morning pretty good, actually, Hanna-Barbera. I mean, every other cartoon was probably a Hanna-Barbera production for a while there, and many of their characters look similar to each other also, because it's a similar style of drawing with the Hanna-Barbera characters. And you see that a lot. And also, especially if they were doing television shows or cartoons, they would borrow for overlays. So if you have shows that are really, really similar, like Scooby-Doo or Charlie Chan and the Chan Clan and things like that, they would just redraw their own overlays, so body types are very similar and things like that between other characters. Munin says the motorized Batmobile is a great find pickup. Yeah, it is. I've got a kick out of that. But that's where we are. And what Fiddle Chip says, they have the DC hand puppets, no Joker yet though.
Oh, okay.
And Blue Splash says, "Is Thundar or any of the streaming services? The cartoon looks really underrated." Yeah,
I've never seen
Thundar the
Thundar.
Barbarian. I think that was Hanna-Barbera too.
Oh, really?
And that was what, an 80s cartoon. What, did it have one season? Well,
Probably.
most cartoons only really technically had one season.
Except for
Very few of them.
for Transformers.
Yeah, very few. Saturday morning, especially, very few.
Yeah.
Drug out multiple seasons or continued to be rehashed. Like what was it? Fat Albert was technically 3 seasons, but they stretched it over like 12 years. Yeah, because they kept re-showing it.
Yeah.
They kept playing them over and over again because it was just that popular. And Robert says McGilla Gorilla and Ricochet Rabbit look nothing like each other. I mean, it's a similar style.
Yeah.
It's a similar style. But with that, we've had a long day. So we are going to go ahead and start wrapping up. It is 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But that'll have to do. And I still have watch out for the tour of the Retro Toy Swap, and that'll probably be going up tomorrow.
Okay.
That'll go up tomorrow because we did film while we were out there. So I'll say thank you to everybody for joining us this evening. Hope you had a good time.
Yes.
And we'll try to do this again.